We spoke last week about emigration in general, but this week we will look at one of the most famous emigrants from Harris, and certainly the largest emigrant from Harris, Giant MacAskill in Cape Breton. He stood, I think it was 7'9" in height and 80-inch chest, so massive character. But he was born actually on the island of Berneray, at a place called Shearby. If you look at a map of Harris, that's way down the corner of Berneray here. And it was very open to sandblow, the wind coming in from the north. And the crops, they were all damaged badly in the 1820s. And most of the people left. And most of them went to an area in Cape Breton called Framboise, down to this southeast corner here. But one family, that of a Norman MacAskill, didn't go with the rest. He went across into mainland Harris and settled in Coiginish, in what's called the Bays of Harris. Now, the old folk that I remember there used to remember stories of the Giant MacAskill. He was only there as a wee boy. They remembered little things like he wasn't particularly big as a baby, but had huge thumbs. And the other thing that's remembered about him is that his father, Norman MacAskill, coming from Berneray and being a farmer, wasn't a pretty good fisherman probably, and he was marooned on one of the islands in Loch Finsbury overnight. His boat was upset by a basking shark and he was stuck on the rock, and it's still called MacAskill's Rock, in the bay out here. And also there was a fishing lodge built in Coiginish in the early 1900s, and they took the stone out of all the other ruins round about, but they didn't touch one, because that's where the where the giant was. So that sort of thing is remembered about him. But they only stayed there until he was 3 or 4 years old, and then they headed for Cape Breton as well. But unusually, instead of going with the rest of the Framboise, they headed to what's called Englishtown, which is up here in the St Anne's area of Englishtown. It's the most beautiful place, in the narrow bit of St Anne's Bay, which is almost blocked by a sandbar, and at the side of it is the village of Englishtown. And there's a little car ferry that runs back and forth from Englishtown to the bar there, and it's called the Angus MacAskill. And in Englishtown, there's still descendants of the giant living in Englishtown. And some have a little museum there. They've got a sort of dummy figure of Giant MacAskill as well. It's a little bit Walt Disney, but nonetheless, it gives an idea of the size. I'm quite a big chap myself, and I've worn his waistcoat. And it was round me like a tent and down pretty well to my knees. So it gives you an idea of the scale of person that he was. But from our point of view, Ian Harris, it's interesting that not only that he was the big guy and he went over to Cape Breton, but at least one of his father's brothers, Angus, stayed behind in Harris and the rest of the family left. Some of them went to Australia, some of them went to Cape Breton, but he stayed in Harris. And his, let's get this right, his granddaughter's granddaughter lives across the road from us and is one of the Harris tweed weavers in Harris just now, Becca Hutton. So we've not only got the links in the village here today, Giant MacAskill, there's still the ruin of the house he lived in there. In Berneray, they've built a monument on the house where he was born. And if you look in the Guinness Book of Records, you'll find him there in Giant MacAskill.